It's a once-in-a-lifetime experience, which has made me think over the last years, how do you define a moment like this? And I think all of us have gone through that. How do you define this moment? And I've thought about it a lot since the phone call informing me of the induction. And as a high school coach, this honor doesn't come along very often. It's very rare. It's a very special moment. But in thinking about it, it's not a life-changing moment for me like when I got married or when I had, my wife had our kids or even our grandkids. It's also not a life-defining moment like when I was a young man and accepted Christ. As I thought about it, what it really is for any coach, it's a life-sharing moment. It's an opportunity that is not singular, but group. It's created by a lot of people over a long span of time, putting in a lot of hard work, not just one person doing it. It's a group moment, and it doesn't come about because of what one person's goals or dreams are. It comes about because of the combined dreams of many people. And as a coach, you get to see that because you're working with teams that bring together one dream and one goal. And you see that on t-shirts today. And it isn't the fulfillment of my dreams or my goals. It's the fulfillment of all the groups that we ever had at Oregon City High School. The moment doesn't happen for a person up here without all those people. Tonight I've been both blessed and honored to represent all those mentors, all those coaches, all those parents, friends, family members, and especially all those players who made this moment special for me. Tonight's special because I get to share it with people that are very special to me. People who have had an incredibly active part in making this moment happen. And they're here with me tonight. Last night we were at Buddy's Barbecue and it was a really special time too. That's what makes coaching basketball so special though. It's a team sport. You get to share in the winning and you get to share in the losing. And tonight sharing with me are my closest friends and family. The Bible says that no one shows greater love than when he lays down his life for his friends. The people celebrating here with me tonight paid that price in terms of sacrifice time. All of them took many hours away from their families and their lives to be involved in Oregon City girls basketball and in my life. Whether it was a Jeff Olson or a Julie Balch teaching basics to our younger players, or my sisters defending me against anybody, my Aunt Tony keeping score at all our state tournament games, or my college roommate going up to Alaska, sleeping in a fishing camp, helping me to run a camp up there, or my men's accountability group holding me to a higher coaching standard, they all laid down their time, valuable time for me. And thinking about tonight over the last year has given me the opportunity to recall all those people who impacted and influenced my own life. My three high school coaches, Mike Corrigan, Jim Perkin, and Wayne Bauer, were great examples of what high school coaches were meant to be. The three coaches who taught me the most when I got into coaching were Don McCarty, Gordy James, and Jim Worden. Coaches like Dennis Daniels, Ken Alcorn, Ron Mosley, and Mike Mills were the backbone of the Oregon City Youth Program, and opposing coaches like Mark Neffendorf, Al Aldridge, Tom Morio, Gary Lavender, and Craig Ellingson taught me what it was like to run a first-class program. There are so many others from the Baldwins to the Sherriers that gave their time, their loyalty, their money to help the Oregon City girls basketball program reach the top, to reach our dreams. But I do want, and I know you think I just singled out some people, but I do want to single out a few people who without I wouldn't be up here tonight. The first is my mom and dad, who influenced me to become both a coach and a teacher. The second is Carl Tinsley, otherwise known to most people as Tins. We were together, Gail, I think you said you guys were together for 20 years. We've been together as long as I've been married. We've been together over 30 years. And you don't think of one without the other. You don't think of Oregon City without Carl Tinsley. And he truly should be up here. I really appreciate and love Carl. And most important to me, as I think to all of us, are our family, my wife and my daughters. I can't thank God enough for the family He's blessed me with. And there's no conceivable way to share with you the influence and impact, if you know what I mean, from those three women on my life. Especially my wife, Lisa, whose love is, it's beyond, it goes beyond. She's the one who does everything for me so I could do all the things I wanted to do. And finally, I'd like to thank all the high school, junior high, and grade school coaches who spend countless hours helping young players fulfill their dreams. The irony of a high school coach is that coaching is our second job. Teaching is our first. We do this on the side. Coaching may be our first love, but it's not our most important job. Teaching is. And I'd like to end with a quick story. It took place about 10 years ago on a Saturday night. We had just lost the state championship earlier in that evening, and I was home getting ready for our all-night celebration at the gym. And I was a little bit more than devastated and frustrated because it was a game we could have or probably should have won. Obviously, poor coaching. And this is where I needed my sisters to defend me. And there was a knock at the door. And my first thought was, who in the world would it be at this late at night? When I opened the door, there stood before me Bob Black, dressed in a suit and tie. I hadn't seen Bobby in over 12 years. Bobby had been a kid that I had in junior high youth group, taught in high school, coached in 9th grade basketball, and eventually became a coach for us. And as he was standing there, and I was kind of looking at him, he had just graduated from Johns Hopkins University with a doctorate, which for those of you know is not an easy task. And as he's standing there looking at me, he says, and I didn't understand it at first, he goes, "I am your state championship." Now, we just lost. He says, "I am your state championship." And so I looked at him kind of questioning and not really sure, and he says, "Without you, I would have never made it." And as he does this, he holds up his doctorate, and he says, "This is yours." And then he repeats, "I am your state championship." For a high school coach or teacher, there's not a greater moment than to experience that. And as a coach, you can practice, you can plan, you can devise, but you can never guarantee the outcome of a game. But you can choose to be a positive influence in somebody's life. And the experiences, the people, and the relationships that we as coaches get to experience are what makes our profession special. There are 5 young ladies here tonight that have traveled across the United States. Michelle Bugney, Julie Balch, Lindsay Yamasaki, Kelly Spencer, and Jess Hansen. They started as players for me, they became friends, and they ended up as family. And when you think about coaching, that's what it's all about. The price that you pay for one another. As great as tonight is, those are the moments that I'll always remember. Our trophies are the players who are doctors, teachers, coaches, mothers. Their impact lasts forever. They are our state championships. From those people and for all those people who've been involved in my life and Oregon City's basketball, thank you very much.